Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Now let's take a look at this said person novel, which is the official Blueprint project. Let's briefly try it out. It's basically like this. There is a character that can respond to WASD. You can press space to make it jump, and you can bring up our debug camera to see what it looks like. As for this case, it looks very simple, but it has a very complex thing called ControlRig. It can be used to adjust the character's skeleton. You can see here, you can see this foot, right? See, this foot has this kind of IK feel to it. See, it might require this palette to achieve. Okay, we won't cover ControlRig in this tutorial. This belongs to the animation TA technique, and it is a very important core technique. You see, our animation blueprint. We will mainly talk about the logic aspect. First of all, you can see in the content directory, there is a level prototype here. Nothing much to say about that. Then there is a character. This place mainly stores the models and animation assets you use. This UE4 is our classic little white man. This then this is related to Rig. We will mainly look at the mesh. This ControlRig is a very powerful tool. Basically, you must master it. Just take a look at the blueprint, and this is the animation, right? We'll ignore this. Then we can see that the model we are using is this model. This model has several versions. There are high poly and low poly versions. Actually, if you look here, we click on a model, and here, because this model is quite large, it might be a bit slow when you first open it. You can see this model has a total of about 90,000 triangles. Its vertices are 48,000. Then this place has several LED levels. You can see that different LEDs can be used for periodic judgment. Then we can look at a simple one. You can see the simple one is like this. This simple one might. You can see they look similar, but it has a simple version. Look at this bones parameter. It only has 89 bones, and it only has 161 bones. So it is actually a simplified version. They are all based on this skeleton. This is the skeleton. Yes, okay, then here are some of its animations and assets. These are some of its animation blueprints. You see here, this is one of its animation blueprints. Everyone should be very familiar with this. If you have a foundation in Blueprint, you couldn't have skipped this animation blueprint. Right, it's relatively simple. A simple state machine and a montage slab. Then this place added this controller. It can be used to adjust the footstep. Okay, so we finished looking at this part, and this asset is placed here. Then we mainly look at what's inside the Seri person. We won't cover its input. This is very simple. This part is just movement. Because it doesn't even have a design, then this is its map. Then these are its boot points. In boot points, there is usually a game mode, and the game mode mainly just modifies this default. Then in this culture here, it gets a bit more complicated, because during BeginPlay, it directly performs the mapping. Right here, you'll notice it doesn't have a player controller. Writing it this way is also fine, because you need to design based on the actual project situation. That is to say, your gameplay. If your project is relatively complex, you can use the full gameplay. But if you only make a simple one, for games like running fast, jumping high, or jumping far, you might not need to write components for much of the logic. You can just write everything into one character class. That is also acceptable. So here, it is simply to register this variable here, register this input mapping context, and then here do the corresponding binding of these input text actions, and then here is jump. This calls the jump, and as for this move, actually, it's still about adjusting within this fat interface. Add this movement input, then here just do a simple calculation. Then this is forward and backward. This is left and right, right? There's probably nothing much to say about this. Then here is our camera. That is our mouse. Convert the mouse input into this control input. We can see if there are any other places that have been modified. It should be about like this. There are some adjustments here regarding movement parameters. We won't go into detail about these. Okay, so basically, this demo of the blueprint example, it's still relatively simple. Everyone can see it at a glance. All its code is actually just this one chart. Okay, we will use this project again later. Why will it be used? Let's switch this mode to 2 standalone instances. then let it run in this zipway manner. You can see it looks like this now, right? But if we adjust it to client here, you can see both of these are clients. You can see, right? So this project is very important. Our later cases will be based on this project. We will start implementing features similar to online games. Then here, for everyone's convenience in the demonstration, we can modify the play settings here slightly. Yes, we can make changes here to the default generated resolution size, or set it to medium. We can do it this way to adjust the size and such. So when playing here, you have some settings, and we mainly work here. Launching it in the new editor, window mode. You will notice that here there are two clients. Actually, it also has a dedicated server. It's just that we can't see this server right now. So pay attention to these two. They are Client and Client 2. Then here we set it to lesson 7. Then you'll see that this is severing. It is actually the host. You see, there is one player on the host. It is called, we call it lesson server. That's the mode. And here is our second player. If you change this number to 3, you can see right here, it actually has 3 players, right? Then this place gets stuck. We'll ignore it. Then this place is equivalent to having 2. Actually, there are 3 players, but the client has 2. And then this host, it has 1 player on the host. So that's the overall situation. But if we are this client, actually, it's like this. Then it actually has 3 clients and 1 server. And these 4 programs are actually deployed on 4 different machines. But here we are definitely deploying locally. Everything is launched from the editor. So in this case, let me first lay out this model for everyone. And then this standalone mode of yours, if it's not started up. They are actually just 3 unrelated standalone games. Okay, let's stop here for now. Then we'll show you the C++ code in a moment.